Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I've never done a morning session. Hi. Thank you guys for coming here. I know that many of you were out late last night. I hope you all had fun. Universal, yay. Yay. I appreciate that you're here. If you stay for the Q&A at the end, I do have fruit snacks for anyone who wants to ask a question and get some sugar back into you. My name is Isabella. I am here to talk about how to manage Microsoft Teams effectively. And when I say talk about it, I think this is going to end up being a conversation. I want to leave about 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the end for you guys to ask questions. Management is really personal for every organization. You have your own needs for what it means to actually manage a product like Microsoft Teams. And so I'm going to walk you through all of these different options you have for controlling this and hope that I'm going to point you down the right path for choosing what you need to really use this product well. So quick agenda, I'll talk a little bit about Microsoft Teams in case you haven't heard of it before over the course of this week. And then we'll talk about the phases of management. So these are really just making sure that you're ready to onboard and to use the product and getting your organization ready. Talking about how you can actually do that onboarding. Talking about the tools that we give to you for managing the product as you onboard and once you're actually there. So these are all of the day-to-day tools that you'll have in your arsenal. And then talking about measuring impact or understanding what it means to have been successful with the product and how your users are using it. And then I'll go a little bit into the future of management and the ways we're thinking about innovating in this space. I think that's the Star Wars theme song somewhere. Okay. Quickly, a little bit about me. Hello, my name is Isabella Lubin. IsabellaLubin.com just redirects to my LinkedIn. Don't add me right now or I'll know you're not paying attention. I'm a PM on the Teams team. I focus on IT pro tools, role-based access control. We just released some new admin roles for Teams. The management experience for Teams themselves within our admin portal, the PowerShell platform, so a lot of these kind of interstitial pieces between the back end and then what you guys all use. Just a warning, this is a photo of me from my last customer presentation where I broke the kitchen sink and soaked myself, my marketing team, and several customers. So I apologize in advance for those of you in the front row. Okay, Microsoft Teams, the hub for teamwork in Office 365. Sorry if you guys have seen this slide before. It conveys the message well. Microsoft Teams brings together the best of Microsoft 365. It allows your users to communicate deeply through chat and meetings and calling, either in this ad hoc one-on-one or group chat calling scenario, but also using a lot of these new meeting functionalities and live event features that we've been discussing over the course of this week. But it brings in, with all of these deep communication tools that you're used to from Skype for Business, the ability to collaborate and bringing in the best of the Office 365 platform, whether that's core collaboration with SharePoint and Word and PowerPoint and Excel, and coupling that with communication. So suddenly it's not just about having content in one place and communication in another. It's about driving projects end to end and having all of these pieces come together in a single platform. It's also not just about what's in Office 365. Microsoft Teams can be customized and extended for your organization and for the needs that you have within your organization to drive productivity. So a couple of these things, you can bring in the third-party apps that you use elsewhere into Teams and interact with those apps in the same place that you're using the Office 365 apps. You can also extend, so we're working on the line of business applications that you may need for your organization to be successful, being able to bring those in to the product as well. So it's not just about what we provide, it's not just about what third party provides, it's also about the stuff that you guys are developing for yourself. And you can work with confidence. Microsoft Teams is built on the Office 365 platform. It has all the same security and compliance controls that you're used to from other parts of Office 365. And we're giving you the admin tools that you need to be able to manage this appropriately. Which brings up a great question. You've heard about Microsoft Teams all week long. Maybe you've already been sold, maybe I just sold you on it in the past 2 minutes. It's the fastest growing business application in Microsoft history, but how are you going to manage it, right? So you know that you may want to onboard, you want to start using this thing. How are you actually going to do that in a way that's going to mean that you feel safe and secure as you use this product? So let's go through the phases of management. We talked about them at the beginning: getting your admin team ready, actually setting up the controls you need in advance, driving onboarding, and then measuring success. Let's talk about this path. So a guide to get from A to B. If any of you have been to Seattle, this is a bridge that leads to the Arboretum. You know you want to go to the Arboretum, right? You know you want to get there. How are you going to get there? So there are a number of phases. So the first is actually just prepping your organization, making sure that the people who are going to be supporting this product are ready to go. Setting the controls in advance that you want to establish for this product. So you may not want to let users jump on to Microsoft Teams right off the bat. You may want to set up some regulatory controls so that you know that as they're doing that, you feel secure in what they're about to use. Actually driving the onboarding. So this is moving your users over to the product. The ongoing management tool set. So this is actually deciding the day-to-day of your user has a poor call and you need to actually troubleshoot what's going on. And then you made it. So now, yay! So now you have to celebrate your success. You have to make sure that you actually have achieved the goals that you had when you set out to onboard to Microsoft Teams. And obviously tell your friends about how great it was. A quick call out here, and I talked about this at the beginning. Everyone has a different path to actually onboarding to the product. So the types of management that you as an IT admin are going to need to do are going to be very different from the types of management that the man over there needs to do, right? So everyone is going to be designing their own path to actually onboarding and leveraging the product. And what I'm going to walk through are the different controls that you have for actually managing the product. And then you're going to decide what's best for your organization. So let's talk about prepping your admin team. One of the really important points that I'd like to stress, and I think you've been hearing this throughout the week, is that part of prepping your admin team is actually making sure that the people who are going to be supporting the product know how to use the product. So successwithteams.com is a great resource on best practices for success with teams. And I really recommend that you make sure that the IT pros in your organization have used the product. Feel comfortable with how it's actually making them work and how it's changing their own productivity story. It's going to be very hard. You can't really teach someone how to swim if you don't know how to swim yourself. So that's a kind of more of a theoretical, not theoretical, wrong. OK. You have to assign your admin roles. So we announced this week that we have 4 new admin roles for managing Microsoft Teams. I'm going to walk through them really quickly. The first role is the Team Service Administrator. So this is the role that you're probably more familiar with being like a role like the Exchange Service Admin. So it's a workload level administrator. It's going to have access to everything within the Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business Admin Center that impacts the team's workload. This administrator can also manage Office 365 groups coming in October. And when I say manage Office 365 groups, this admin will be able to create groups on behalf of other users. We'll be able to exceed the 250 per user limit that individuals will hit. We'll be able to update them on behalf of. So this is an important piece, and I'm calling this out because there's a distinction that we make here between what the Team Service Administrator can do and what the Team's Communications Administrator can do. Think of the Team Service Admin as your overall workload level admin. Think of the Team's Communications Administrator, which is the next one in this list, as the admin who's going to be handling a lot of the traditional telephony and voice scenarios. So this is the admin who has access to managing calling and meetings within Microsoft Teams. The reason we made this distinction is largely that managing O365 groups, which are the core the core backend of a team, is a powerful permission. O365 groups are used elsewhere across our infrastructure, and so if you're giving someone the ability to manage this thing, you may want to distinguish between those roles in your organization. This depends a lot on whether or not you have a big IT department or you don't. So you'll be able to decide for yourselves which of these roles make sense. The next 2 admin roles, the Teams Communications Support Engineer and the Teams Communications Support Specialist, we did a lot of research when we were building out what canned roles we needed to provide in the product. And what we heard from organizations was that because telephony is such a complex piece, they actually have dedicated support teams that will just be troubleshooting calling. And so there was a need for a support role to actually manage, be able to perform these troubleshooting tasks. But at the same time, they needed to make a distinction. So call records include a lot of privileged information. The communication support engineer can use advanced tools, and largely what that means is that they have access to the fact that they can see that, if Satya Nadella calls me, they can see that Satya Nadella called someone. They can't see that he called me. So it's that distinction of keeping some level of PII abstracted from this first support worker, the support specialist. And the advantage of this is that you can use this role to identify if there's a problem with the person who called in and with their setup. So if they call in, you can see, oh yes, your personal device is just not working. And then if that's not the case, then you can escalate to the support engineer who can do deeper troubleshooting. So that's where we think of this split between these 4 roles. These roles are available for assignment in Azure Active Directory today. And so what I'm going to show you really quickly, once I figure out, oh, my screen, okay, there we go. So if I go over here to my list of users, come on, computer. We're going to refresh. And I thought this was the demo that was going to go well. Okay, there we go. So what I'm just going to show you is the ability to assign these user roles directly within the Azure Active Directory portal. Or I will if my Wi-Fi will work. Okay. We're going to come back to that demo. Get excited because I actually, oh, of course. I was going to say I have like 3 different PowerShell demos set up, and I was so ready for those to just all crash and burn, and yet loading a web page is the hardest part of today. Okay, we will actually just switch over. I'm going to go back. While that loads, so you've set up your admin roles, right? And we've talked about these 4 different administrator roles. Other admins play a role in managing Microsoft Teams. So one of the things that we focus on within the team is making sure that we align the controls that we build out for managing Microsoft Teams with the administrators who actually own the scenario. So rather than saying we're going to build all controls that are related to Teams just within the Microsoft Teams admin toolset, we try to align by scenario. So this is just a very high-level view of how Microsoft Teams is architected. Teams clients run on a number of different platforms. So they run on the Office 365 platforms and services. Office 365 groups are the core backing construct for a team. They run on top of team services, so these are services that we maintain for communicating between these different back-end pieces and the clients themselves. And then Skype infrastructure for all of your calling and meeting call stack. There's also this element that runs on Azure, so identity is populated in Azure, obviously, right? The admin controls that we build out are similarly aligned by the scenarios that they manage. So there are a set of tools in the M365 and Azure Active Directory admin toolset that impact Teams. These are the controls that you have for Office 365 groups, for managing identity, for managing licenses, for managing access. And those controls live there because these are controls that manage all of Microsoft 365. And so we're not going to build a set of tools that are just unique to Microsoft Teams. We try to align, and some of this is more aspirational, but I'll show you how this alignment works. We try to align with this centralized admin scenario, so you have one place to go for what you're trying to manage. We have a set of controls in the Teams and Skype for Business admin toolset. So these are all the controls for managing the core communication and collaboration scenarios that are unique to Teams. These are things like adding a channel to a team, right? Because Teams is the only workload that actually has this concept of a channel. This is things like setting your meeting or your messaging policy, because those are specific to our service. And then there are a set of controls for managing security and compliance scenarios. These are things like setting your retention policy and using the e-discovery tool set. So your security and your compliance officers want to be able to look across all of Microsoft 365. They don't want to have to go into the Microsoft Teams tool set. So we're aligning the controls for managing security and compliance scenarios for Teams with the other controls that your admins are used to using. So we've talked a little bit about that alignment at a high level. What are the scenarios that you would like? Why would you go to one of those particular spaces to set one of these controls? Let's deep dive. So in the core collaboration scenarios, this is in M365 Admin Center, in Azure Active Directory. There you're going to be able to set things like the group policies for guest access, for expiry, for naming. Again, an Office 365 group spans, it's a platform, it spans all of M365, and so you're going to set these controls in a centralized place. In the communications and collaboration scenarios, you may want to control things like meetings or messaging or this, these new live event pieces that we talked about. There you'll be going to the Skype for Business and Microsoft Teams Admin Center and the PowerShell commandlets that we have available as well. And then finally, the security and compliance scenarios are integrated again with the other security and compliance scenarios you have across M365. So I'm going to talk through some of the different controls you have in each of these spaces. I'll demo it. But I wanted to, and then there's this guidance that we have for just planning your own path for governance. You're all going to make the decisions that you need for the controls that you want to set up in advance. I wanted to double click a little bit just on this Microsoft Teams scenarios and just talk a little bit about how we set up our policy model. So just to give a little bit of context for what I'm going to show. So in Microsoft Teams space, we have essentially two different types of controls that you can have. We have policies, and then we have configurations. Policies can apply across your whole organization. So for every type of policy, like your messaging policy, you're going to have a default for everyone in your organization, and then you can assign more granular custom policies for other users. If you're used to Skype for Business, if you're coming to us from someone who's more experienced with Skype for Business, this is the same model that you're used to there. Configurations, on the other hand, are going to apply across your whole organization. There's going to be one per type. So if you think about how this looks, you might set up custom policy A and custom policy B, and then assign that to a set of users. Right now, you assign it to users one by one. On our backlog is being able to assign to a group of users. And then all other users in your organization for that policy type are just going to get the default policy that you set up. So if you have a need for saying, you know what, the people in my legal department need to have this one custom policy for meetings because I want to govern their meetings in a different way, but everyone else should have this one, you can create a custom policy for your legal department, assign it to all of the users in your legal department, and then everyone else will get your default policy. Some of the PowerShell verbs, it's usually get, set, new, remove, grant. We just published some documentation just about how the commandlets work for each of these different types to help give some guidance about for those of you who aren't used to this model from Skype for Business. In the configuration space, there's a single configuration. It applies for everyone in your organization. The verbs are usually get and set. An example here is get the CS Teams guest messaging configuration. The split that we have here is, and I don't know if any of you attended Jamie Stark's session yesterday, but we try to make sure that there are some things that really just make sense to be governed at a cross-tenant level because it's too complex for you to be troubleshooting why is Sally having one experience but Bob having a different one. So there are also sometimes it's actually just from an infrastructure perspective very difficult for us to have per user policies rather than having a global configuration. So you'll see that both of these types of both of these types of governance controls in our product. In the UI, they're generally called policies and settings. In PowerShell, they're called policies and configurations. This is a point-in-time snapshot on the controls that will impact Microsoft Teams. I don't actually expect all of you to read it. What I wanted to call out was, by scenario, what the controls are, what admin role of these 4 new admin roles can actually leverage it, and then where would you go to manage it? So I know that this is sometimes confusing. What I wanted to highlight was, if you're trying to control something around meetings or messaging or calling, you're going to be going to the Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business Admin Center. You're going to be using the Skype for Business PowerShell module. If you want to do some core group collaboration, you're going to be going to the Azure Active Directory Admin Center and the Azure Active Directory PowerShell module. And then there are a number of security and compliance controls that you would be going to the Security and Compliance Center for managing. So let's take a look at this. This is a lot of options. Many of your organizations will not need to set every single one of these options. We try to give smart defaults, right? So if everyone has a default policy when you come in for each of these pieces, we try to make sure that we set the defaults that are ones that most organizations will need. So if you have a small business, you may never need to go in and modify the meeting policy. If you need to, the controls are there. So I'm going to walk through a couple of the controls in each of these pieces. I'm going to go through what it will look like to set a policy, what it will look like to set a policy in the Skype for Business and Microsoft Teams space, what it will look like to set some of the controls we have for O365 groups, and then I'll highlight where Microsoft Teams fits into the security and compliance scenarios. And we're all going to cross our fingers that my admin portal opens up. OK. And I will switch over. OK. So what I was highlighting before was the ability to assign an admin role within this portal. So let me just show you that really quickly. If I go here to one user, and I click on directory role, you'll see all of these 4 new admin roles available in Azure Active Directory, and they're available for all of your tenants today. So let's talk about the first piece. So the first piece is I'm onboarding to Microsoft Teams, and I want to make sure that my users are using Office 365 groups sensibly. So maybe I work at a university, and I know that my users may go off and spin up a number of different groups for their own personal work scenarios, but I want to distinguish the groups that my users are creating from the groups that I'm creating for them. This is a pretty common scenario, right? You want to make sure that the actual official pieces that your organization is setting up are distinguished in some way from what the end users are doing. So I've connected here to the Azure Active Directory Preview PowerShell module. And what I'm grabbing is the settings for Office 365 groups. So Azure Active Directory allows you to set up a set of settings by scenario. There is one for all unified groups or all Office 365 groups. And so what I'm going to do here is I just grabbed the settings. I've only set up one type of setting, so this is me cheating a little bit. I'm going to show the settings that you have for managing groups themselves. So if I zoom in, you can see these are all of the settings that are available to you within AAD that will impact O365 groups. So we talked about some of them, right? You could set a naming policy, which is the prefix-suffix naming requirement. So here you could distinguish how should all of the groups that my end users are creating be prefixed so that you can identify them easily, distinguish them easily between what you are creating as the IT department and what they're creating. You can also block specific words. So one of the common scenarios is you may want to prevent your users from creating the police group just because that's a security problem. And you can also enable things like classification here, so making sure that all of the groups get labeled and that your users have to set a classification when they create a group. Things like guest access, so allow guests to access groups. And things like whether or not end users are able to create, let me scroll down, you can be able to see this better. Things like whether or not you want to actually allow end users to create groups at all. So one of the controls that we haven't talked a whole lot about yet is that your organization may want to restrict who can create groups. So this is the enable group creation. Your organization may want to restrict who can create groups. There's a split here, right? Sometimes you want to let your users go off and figure out what scenarios they find valuable in Microsoft Teams and how they want to use Microsoft Teams and create the groups that they need to be successful. And sometimes you want to have this driven by the IT department. I believe that there's space for both of those approaches. So I believe that it's absolutely possible to drive onboarding, to have an IT-driven onboarding while still allowing users to use the product the way that they want to. For some large organizations, they can't, right? That's just there's a compliance regulation. There's something that means that they need to be driving this completely from within. And here you can go into this is the Azure Active Directory PowerShell module. You can go in and you can say, hey, I want to turn off end user group creation. And then all of the group creation that's going to happen is going to be driven by your IT department so that you can really control how that onboarding works. I'll show you really quickly what updating these settings would look like. So I've stored all of these settings in this variable, and I may want to update the prefix, suffix, naming requirement. So I may just call it, group name, group name. And this is going to take what the end user inputted as the group name. Show you right here. If I knew how to zoom, I would show you right there. So it's going to take what the end user inputted, that's that little bit at the end, and just prefix it with group name. So that you know, OK, anything that doesn't have group name as a prefix is going to be something that was created by my IT department, by my IT admins, because they're not subject to this naming policy. Anything else is going to be created by an end user. So it's a quick way of distinguishing between these two. Some of the other controls, being able to set the classifications that are available on groups. So all of these are within Azure Active Directory. These all impact teams, right? It's not actually a team-specific governance control. We're not going to expose it within. We're not going to build a whole set of setting these pieces within the Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business Admin Center, but we will respect them. And so if you set a naming policy, this will be respected by our workload. So we've talked about some of the controls that you can see for Azure Active Directory. And I encourage you to go explore what settings you can set on O365 groups and decide which ones are going to make sense for your organization. If we pivot over to the controls that we build within Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business admins, the Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business admin tool set, quick show of hands, how many of you have actually used the new Microsoft Teams admin portal? OK. I think it's about 50. So I'm just going to show it to you really quickly. This is where you're going to go to set all of your core communication and core calling and telephony scenarios. You can see this particular organization has been flighted for some features that are still rolling out. You can see here the dashboard. So we have a widget for planning your upgrade from Skype for Business over to Microsoft Teams. But we also have a number of policies. So these are things that you could set in advance before you start onboarding so that you can govern what features your users can use in the product. And as we talked about earlier, each policy is going to have a default that will apply to everyone in your organization, and you can create custom policies as well. So if I were to go in here, you can see the settings that are available for setting on this global policy, and I can toggle and say, you know what, I actually don't want my users to be able to use memes because they offend me personally. And so I'm going, I know, there was just a gasp of horror somewhere in the crowd. So I can turn that off, and now every user in my organization is not going to be able to use memes. I could, on the other hand, say, you know what, actually, memes have their place, and I'm going to allow, say, my teachers to use them because I trust that they're going to use these responsibly. And so I could just say this is a teacher policy, and I'm going to allow memes in conversation, and I don't want to change any other defaults. So I've created this policy, and you can see it right here, right? You've got. I tried to teach myself how to use Zoom last night. Clearly, it didn't go as well as I'd hoped. But what we can do is we can go over to the user page. So now you see all of the users who are enabled for Teams and Skype for Business. we can click on a user, and then we can assign that custom policy that we just created. So you see here on the user profile page a list of all of the custom policies that they've been assigned, and also a list of all the information about things like audio conferencing that they've been enabled for. So I can go over here and hit Edit, and I can assign them a new policy. So we just created this Teams messaging policy. You can see it's already here available for assignment. So I'm just going to assign it and save it. And now Diego has the teacher policy. So this is how you would do it one by one, right? You create a policy. You can go and assign it to a user in this admin portal. You can also switch over to PowerShell. There's something exciting going on over there. So I can just get the Teams messaging policies, and this is going to return all of the policies that are available in my organization, including a number of policies that are created, canned policies that are created for use by Microsoft with some smart defaults that you can leverage yourself and assign to users. You can see the policy that I created just now, right? So that's the global policy. Here's the teacher policy that I created. So you can see that. You can see that the default that we just set, which is allow memes, is set to true. This policy is now available for assignment via PowerShell. So I could go in and take a bunch of users and assign in bulk this policy to, say, all of the teachers in my organization, rather than doing it one by one in the admin portal. So PowerShell is where you may go for bulk operations. The admin UI lets you make these changes quickly. So we've talked about some of the controls that you have for managing Microsoft Teams, right? We've looked at how you can create a policy and assign it to a user. You could go here and look at some of the configurations that are available. So things like managing team-specific settings. So these are things about how users, what third-party apps are users able to use for file storage within the organization. These are all specific to Microsoft Teams because they're about how users use this particular product. Switching over to the security and compliance space, right? This is just about the core communication and collaboration. You have a set of concerns around security and compliance. And so all of the controls for managing security and compliance scenarios for Teams are built into the security and compliance admin portal. So if I switch over to the security and compliance admin center, you'll see that I can set up policies that are going to impact the Teams workload. So here we're loading. So I'm going to go over to data governance, right? I care about compliance. I want to make sure that I have a retention policy for the content within Teams that meets my organizational needs. So I'm going to be able to go in and create a policy. Teams retention policy. And I'm going to decide how long I want to retain it. So let's say, I want to keep it for 5 years. Those are the regulations that I have for my organization. And then I'm going to enable it for Teams, the messages that are included within these chats, and then also the messages that are included within channel conversations. So I can set this policy. Again, your compliance officer does not need to go over to the Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business Admin Center. He's already used to creating compliance policies or retention policies in this admin portal. So we're going to push the team settings for this scenario over to the Security and Compliance Center as well. So that's a snapshot of the controls that we just set up. There are obviously, if you look at the piece that we showed earlier, there are obviously a lot of other settings that you can manage. And so we have, not just setting your retention policy, but also setting conditional access policies, right, for when people can log into the Teams client, setting a lot of policies around calling, around meetings. We just looked at setting the naming policy. We looked at updating the default meeting. Well, so I went off script here. We updated the default messaging policy to restrict memes. We enabled retention. But these settings that I just set may not be the ones that are right for your organization. So there's a guide here, a step-by-step guide that's just called, it's Plan for Teams Governance. It walks you through some of the questions that you might be asking yourself as you look at onboarding to the product. and then we'll point you to where in the M365 admin toolset can you go to setting that scenario. So we've been talking a lot about governance and setting the controls that you need. These are all of the pieces that you may want to control before you actually start your onboarding motion. What does it mean to actually onboard? So many of you are looking at Microsoft Teams and coming from many different places. So some of you are upgrading from Skype for Business, both online and on premises, to Microsoft Teams. Some of you are really just looking at how are we going to create these collaboration spaces on behalf of our users. You may not actually be onboarding from a different product. You just want to get out the door running. Some of you may be trying to figure out, OK, well, how can we use Microsoft Teams for cloud voice scenarios? And some of you may actually just be looking here for what your change management strategy is. So like as you actually prep your users for using this product. I'm only going to focus on this bit about setting up teams on behalf of your users. There are a ton of sessions this week that I would recommend you all look at. So if you're looking at upgrade scenarios, if you're looking at actually configuring a lot of the direct routing scenarios, prepping your users for Microsoft Teams, there have been a lot of sessions over the course of this week on all of those topics. So I'll have a link, and I'll show you a set of other sessions at the end of this that I really recommend you go to and read up on and figure out what is going to be best for your organization. What I want to talk about is really how you drive onboarding to collaboration in your organization. And there are kind of two different approaches to this. So one of them is organic onboarding, which is letting your users decide what they need to use in Teams and kind of letting that run its course. And the other is IT-driven onboarding, which is that you've decided that you have some scenarios that you want to use Teams to accomplish, and you want to create set up this product to meet those organizational needs. I believe that there's space for both in every organization. I believe that users may have their own needs that they've identified and that they can actually help you use this product better. And I also believe that many organizations already have ideas for how they're going to want to use the product and that they can set their users up for success right off the bat. So just an example of two different types of onboarding. On the right, we have the create your team view, which is just what the end user will see when they go to create a team. And then on the left, we have what is clearly a PM script for creating a team on behalf of your users. So let me show you really quickly what it would look like for an end user to be doing the onboarding and an end user to be doing their own management. So here I have logged in as one of the users of this organization. She really likes cats. And so she created this team because she wants a place for everyone to go and talk about cats. We actually have a DL at Microsoft called Cat at Microsoft. So this is not a made-up scenario. So she's going to be managing this team, right? She's the owner. She created this. She knows how she wants to use it. And so she has a number of controls that she can use for managing how this works. So if she goes over to manage team, as the team owner, you can see she's the team owner right here. She can handle any request to join. So under pending request, if someone were to request that they be added to this team, because this is a private team, not everyone is added by default, she can approve or deny those requests. She can handle channels. So she can designate whether or not a specific channel should be auto-favorited for the other users who join into this team. She can handle a lot of manage a lot of settings. So these are things like changing the team picture, right? Last night, this is my cat. She's very cute. So last night I uploaded a new team photo. She can do this herself. She can handle how the individual members and guests leverage this team. And some of those settings that we just talked about, like the ability to use memes, those are settings that can also be controlled on the team level. So if she has created a team where she doesn't want people to use certain functionality within the product or within this project, she can disable that just for this one particular team. So you can see, you can enable or disable stickers and memes right here. So that's end user, right? She created this one particular team. You could go in and create another team right here. And there are a number of areas that we're enriching the end user experience for team creation so that they can customize this to their own needs. But you may already know, as an organization, what you want to use Teams for and how you want to leverage the product. And so there may be pieces of this that you want to configure in advance for your users. For IT-driven onboarding, we have a set of controls that we're building out. And some of these are already available in beta, and some of these will continue to get enriched. So you can do IT-driven onboarding with or without self-service creation enabled. So there, as I said, there's room for both in every organization. There are a set of PowerShell commandlets in a Microsoft Teams beta PowerShell module that's available today for automating a lot of this team creation and actual team settings. So a quick view of what those commandlets look like. I'll show it a little bit later. You can create a team. You can update a set of the settings, the knobs that we just looked at. You can add and remove channels, and then you can add and remove members. So you can script this, right? Like you can say, OK, I want to make sure that every department in my organization, as soon as I turn on Teams, they have a team ready to go. You can write a script that will do that for your users. If you saw the general session with Lori, what we talked about was also building out this concept of templates. So the ability to designate in a single graph call everything about a particular team and just pump those out. We have a set of graph APIs that lets you set these things one by one, and what we have rolling out right now is the ability to, in a single call, provision everything about that team. And we'll add in more pieces of that provisioning as we move forward here. So let me just really quickly show you what automated team creation might look like. OK, we're back here. Megan is logged in. I am also logged into I've already connected to the Microsoft Teams PowerShell module. You can see it right here. I've connected Microsoft Teams. I've written a script that you saw before about actually setting a lot of the properties on the team. You can see I'm just going to create a new team. I'm going to add a bunch of channels that I know I want to have for this tenant or for this particular group. I'm going to update some of the settings. So here I said that you can't actually do channel mentions. I don't know if you guys have used the product, but you can mention a channel, which sometimes means that a ton of different people get notifications. So you may want to disable this for a particular team. And then I'm going to add a bunch of users. Again, this is the PM script, right? So I'm sure that you can all come up with something better. So I'm going to run that. And because I've added Megan to this team, you can see we're creating everything. Oh, I deleted one of the users. You'll see why I deleted the user later on. That was what, maybe 3 seconds, 4 seconds, right? She's already there, right? The team is already available for her use. So you can actually set this up in advance for your users and say, OK, we're going to create the groups that they need, and then the next day we're going to tell them to log in, and then they're ready to go. We are constantly going to be enriching a lot of the controls that you can set. So right now we have a group of the things that you can set, like setting channels, setting settings, creating the team itself. We're looking at bringing in the ability to add apps to a team, adding apps to a particular channel. And so you'll see the PowerShell scenarios enrich, and you'll also see the Graph API scenarios enrich. We don't have exact parity with both of them right now. It's an area that we'd love feedback on. We're trying to make sure that organizations that are comfortable with PowerShell have the controls that they need, but organizations that want to do deep customization in Graph also have this rich set of APIs. So as you use it, please post to user voice. Let us know how you're using it and what else you need. So this is how you could have an IT-driven onboarding. So you're actually now on Teams, right? You've created teams for your users. You've set the governance controls. You've said, hey, guys, go party on. Go use this product. What does it look like to actually manage once you started onboarding? So there are a number of day-to-day tasks that IT departments are called upon to handle as our users are using the product. So some of these scenarios are things like using the call analytics tool set and using the call quality dashboard to troubleshoot why your users are having a bad experience. Updating policies for some of the new organizational requirements that you have. Someone did something wrong, it means that now you have to set a default across the organization. That means that you meet the expectations of how people are using this. There are a lot of management scenarios on behalf of your users. So things like someone has left the company. They were the only owner of that particular team, and now you need to go assign a new owner because that team is ownerless. All of your ongoing management tool set. So all of those controls that we talked about before are going to still apply, right? You may need to update your governance controls as you use this product and as you see how it works for your organization. In addition, there are a set of tools that are really clearly meant for ongoing management scenarios. So as I talked about, the call analytics tool, which you can use for troubleshooting poor call quality. Some of this ongoing telephony management, so setting up conference bridges, doing telephone number assignment. There's a link to the call quality dashboard from the Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business Admin Center. And one of the things that I'm most excited about, this piece that we have in preview right now called Manage Teams, which is the page that you're going to go to in the admin portal to manage the teams themselves. And then in addition, we talked about security and compliance scenarios. Because Microsoft Teams data is plugged into the set of controls that your security and compliance officers are using, they may have a need to use things like content search or the audit log for understanding what's going on in the team's workload. So let's look a little bit at what day-to-day management in modern portal might look like. I'm going to switch back over. Here we are. So I'm logged in as the admin for Megan. And you can see that I have this Manage Teams page. This is where every Office 365 group that has been created as a team will show up. You can see in this grid the team photo, in case your users are doing something that they shouldn't be. You can see the number of channels that it has. You can see the number of members, owners, guests. One thing, I'm in an IT department. I got a call that one of these groups is ownerless. You can see really quickly, oh wait, look at this. Fake team with no owner, surprisingly, has no owner. So I can click, I know, right? I named it well. So I can click on that particular team, and here I have the team profile page, which is where I'm going to get all, a snapshot view of what this team looks like. I can go in and say, okay, I'm just going to really quickly assign one of these users as the owner of the team, just to make sure that everyone can now use it. So if this team expires, someone's going to actually get that notification, right? Someone can update all of those settings that we looked at earlier. So here I'm going to switch over and say, hey, Deborah, you're now the owner. And it's as easy as that, right? I just added her as an owner. You can also add and remove new team members. You can add and remove channels. And you can update a subset of the settings. This is in preview right now. We're actively working on it. What we want to be hearing from you as this rolls out and as you use it is, what are the common management scenarios that your users are calling on you for, and make sure that we build those out front and center. We know some of them. We're working on some of them. We want to make sure that this meets your needs. So as it rolls out, please try it out. Give us your feedback. And we're going to constantly move forward. So this is one scenario, right? You needed to go recover an ownerless team. So I've just gone in and assigned an owner. Another really common admin scenario is troubleshooting poor call quality. So we're going to look up Megan, who had a problem with calling last night. And we're going to go look at her call history. You can see Megan has had 3 really bad calls. Unbeknownst to Megan, the reason she's had bad calls is that she was running a network emulator that mimicked 56 KB. But I didn't know that as the admin. So I can go in and I can click on one of these calls, and I can get all the information about the different sessions that were involved in this. So you can see, actually, the phone that called in was fine. Megan's call quality was not great. And so I can look at the deep information in this particular session, and I get the diagnostic information about why that call was poor right here. So this view is going to be available to the Teams communications support engineer, so that they can come in and troubleshoot this. So if you have a dedicated support team that just handles telephony troubleshooting, you can assign users to that role, and they'll be able to come into this admin portal, have access just to this user search page, this call analytics page, and perform these diagnostics on behalf of your organization. So these are 2 of the common scenarios. Another one might be, as we said, you may need to go in and update the messaging policy. So Earlier, we set the default to say we're not going to allow memes in conversation. Maybe now my users have proved themselves that they can actually use memes. And so consider as part of your ongoing management tool set, all of these same policies and configurations that we set up before, things that you can reuse throughout ongoing management. So I can just turn that back on, save it, and now by default, all users will be able to use memes. So we've talked a lot about what the controls are, what the options are for setting up governance in advance, managing as you're actually using the product. How do you actually celebrate success along the way? So it's not just about the day-to-day handling support tickets. It's also about making sure that this product is working for you the way it needs to work. We have in the M365 Admin Center a set of usage reports around how users are using the product. This is, we'll show you the number of channel messages and chat messages. And we also have the call quality dashboard, which lets you see at a high level the quality of calling within your organization. This includes data for both Skype for Business and for Microsoft Teams. But it's not enough to just look at chat messages or channel messages, right? You want to turn your running shoes into a bicycle. So what is the future of management? All of this is great. You can perform your day-to-day diagnostic. What is it going to look like in a year or in 2 years? As your users are becoming more productive and collaborative, how do you become more successful at your jobs as well? So the future of management, there are a number of deep dives about how we're innovating in management in a number of different ways, whether that's innovating in device management, change management, the call quality insights that we're providing for you, how we're building out even richer security and compliance controls, and then the deep dive on admin portal. So I don't know how many of you went to Jamie Stark's session, but yesterday he gave a quick view of how the admin portal, this admin portal that we just looked at, is going to be expanding. But we're also innovating on all of those other tools that we talked about, right? Because this isn't just about the controls specific to Microsoft Teams and Skype for Business. This is how we are building rich admin tools across all of Microsoft 365. And so if you look at how our set of controls will be enriched, the streamlined admin experiences for everyday scenarios, right? So how the M365 admin portal is bringing in a lot of the core functionality that you need to get your day-to-day done. These are things like in a single page being able to reset a user password and then also reset their device. But also in a single page, maybe being able to enable a user for Teams and then also set their messaging policy because your organization isn't big and you don't want to have to go off to another admin portal. All of those are scenarios that we're looking at. They get prioritized as we get feedback about what you guys use the product for. And what you need to have front and center. And so I didn't want to just talk about the future of management within Microsoft Teams. I think it's important to also look at the future of management across all of Microsoft 365. So looking at the innovations that are happening with SharePoint and how we're enriching, how we need to enrich the interaction points between Teams and SharePoint. Looking at the streamlined admin experiences for everyday scenarios. Looking at the innovations that are happening in O365 groups as a platform. So I'm going to show you really quickly some of the ways that we're building out the admin experience for Teams. One of the biggest pieces of feedback that we get from organizations is that Teams is great, but you want to customize it for your users' use. And you want to customize it more deeply than just turning apps on and off. You want to actually make the Teams client a platform that has front and center the things that your users need day to day to be productive. And so what we're building out right now is actually a set of policies that will let you, at a really granular level, control how your users use the Teams client. There are two policies that we're building out. One of them is called the app permission policy, and one of them is called the app setup policy. And in the app setup policy, you can designate how apps get pinned and show up in that left navigation bar, and which apps get pinned and show up in that left navigation bar. So that if you have an LOB app in your organization that you want to always have appear at the top, you'll be able to designate that. So if I go over to Teams app setup policies, I'll see, and in this first release, we'll just be supporting this pinned apps piece. But I'll be able to see, let's see, I want to have OneNote. Maybe I want every single user in my organization to always have OneNote at the top. So this is going to be the app that's going to show up right at the top of every user when they log into the organization. So that's one piece, which is just customizing the client for what you need. The other piece is actually designating what apps your users have access to. We structure apps in 3 different ways. So the first-party apps that are provided by Microsoft, the third-party apps that are provided by other people, and then the LOB apps that your organization has built out for your own needs. And so here in the app permission policy, you'll be able to control in each of these buckets whether apps are allowed or not allowed. And so I'll show you quickly what this looks like. So this is just the new app policy. So in each of these buckets, you can see the Microsoft apps, third-party apps, or tenant apps. These are the apps that you guys have created. You can set one of 4, you can be in one of 4 modes. So the first is you want to allow all of those types of apps to be enabled. The second is you want to allow certain apps to be enabled, but just block all others by default. Third, block certain apps, but allow all others by default, and then block everything. So you can see that for some organizations, you may want to say, I will allow all Microsoft apps, but I actually want to block most third-party apps until I've had a chance to review them and make sure that they meet my organizational needs. And so in each of these categories, let's see, I'm going to say allow specific apps for Microsoft. And I'm going to, again, say, OK, I want people to be able to use OneNote. So I'm going to add it. And in third-party apps, I'm going to block specific apps. OK, I tweet now all the time, so I would not block Twitter. But that's OK. We'll block 2. So these apps are now blocked. I can't save this because this is going to explode on the back end because pieces are still working. But you can see that you can now set this policy in the same way that you could set per-user policies for the other scenarios. You would be able to assign this policy to one subset of your organization and make sure that you customize the experience that they have in the client and give it access to the things in the client that you want them to have access to without exposing the rest of the organization. So this is the way that we're looking at innovating. I encourage you to go to all of the deep dive sessions we've had across device management, across change management, because there'll be double clicks there in all of these different spaces. I will give time for like 15 minutes for questions, but I wanted to talk really quickly about some of the resources that you have as you plan out this journey. So the Teams resource sheet. So this is the kind of one-stop shop for everything that you need for being successful with Teams. A link to the O365 roadmap, a link to the tech community, which is really where we engage with users deeply and hear what they need out of this product. Success with Teams practical guidance. We talked about this a little bit at the beginning, but if you are going to be making sure that your users are successful, there's a lot of good how-to best practices that we share there. And then Coffee in the Cloud is a set of podcast how-to videos for IT pros and Teams champions. We have a public Office 365 champion program that I encourage you to check out, and a list of the sessions at Ignite. The topic of this talk, super broad, right? How to manage Microsoft Teams effectively. There are deep dives for pretty much everything that we just looked at. So if you didn't get a chance to attend many of these sessions, I really recommend that you go check them out. There are more right here, and then aka.ms/teams@ignite will be your go-to for all of these different pieces. If you have developers, we talked a little bit about PowerShell commandlets, about graph APIs. If you have developers who are thinking about building custom apps, I encourage you to point them to this resource sheet as well. And then diversity in tech, we're talking about collaboration, right? We're talking about communication. We're talking about working in a different way. And so I really encourage you to, if you didn't get a chance to attend any of these, check out diversity in tech. Check out how people are thinking about making the workplace a more inclusive and diverse place. And I hope that you can bring many of those learnings back to your own organizations. Please evaluate the session. I do actually read every evaluation. The reason I tried to teach myself how to use Zoom was because someone told me to. So please evaluate, tell us what you like. This isn't even just about me. Evaluate this session all up, and evaluate Ignite all up, and make sure that we can make this even better and really address the questions that you come into this asking. Thank you everyone. I do have time for questions. And I ducked behind because I have fruit snacks if anyone would like them.
For questions here or?
Yes, we have a number of different places. So here, there's one there. I encourage you to use the mic just so that everyone can hear it.
For the ability to assign policies to users, graphically, so you could do it per user, you noted that in bulk it was going to be via PowerShell. Is there the expectation that we'll be able to apply it actually to a group or have some dynamic method of application of those policies?
Absolutely on our backlog and something we're working on right now. Yeah.
Great presentation, by the way.
Thank you. Okay, we'll switch back and forth.
Yes, you showed in the admin portal about Teams, and you can view all the teams and then click on it and see it. 2 questions. Within the M365 admin portal usage, you have a per user area to look at, per device. Are you guys, I heard something about the end of Q4 having a report per teams and membership, is that correct?
So one of the areas that we're absolutely working on is bringing in better reporting about Teams usage itself. I didn't show you this, but there's a mock we have where you'd have like a spark line embedded with every team where you'd see how its usage is trending. We're working on it right now, for sure.
And then is there a way to get a PowerShell or something or a graph of all the teams right now?
Yes, there is. We have in beta.
Beta.
Yeah, I coined that one. We have in beta a release that lets you, when you run get team, which right now only tells you the teams that you belong to,
correct,
also get all the teams in your organization. There is today a Graph API call that you can make, and if I can point you to it afterwards if you want.
Oh, definitely.
We stamp on every group that has been teamified a piece of information that just says, yeah, it's a team, so you can make that call.
Excellent. I'll wait for you.
Okay.
Yeah, with regards to, I know when you set up a team, it sets up things in OneDrive, does things in SharePoint. Is there a way to go the other way? So if I set up a site with a particular template or a particular area in SharePoint Online, it can pop up the option to say, do you want to create a team and or channel
I believe
project or whatever?
Yeah, I believe that SharePoint has a mechanism for saying, okay, you've created a site, convert it to a group, now convert it to a team. I believe that they've already done the release of how that will work. Okay. So as long as you have it as an O365 group, you can convert just a standard O365 group into a team, okay, using our PowerShell module.
Right, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you, very good presentation. Question, so we understand you can add external members to groups. Do you see a possibility of externalizing specific teams, or do you see that on the roadmap where?
It's actually today, you can, for O365 groups, it's one of the governance controls in the M365, in Azure Active Directory. You can enable guest access for all groups and then turn it off for specific groups.
But then on the team, so are you then able to?
Because the team is backed by the group, that impacts teams, right? Okay. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
Does using the PowerShell module to add members to a team generate the same notifications that they would normally get?
It does.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm coming at this from a SharePoint admin experience where we have the site scripts. So it automates the provisioning process from an end user perspective. Is there any direction on Teams that we can have like that PowerShell script where we customize that experience, but from a self-service mode where when you go in and say create a team, you can say, yes, this is a team specifically connected to, SharePoint Hub, but it's done within the Teams interface.
I love when we get that question. It's one of the things that we're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
You had an example of the teacher policy. If I was a university and I had 3,000 administrators and teachers and 1,000 of them were teachers, how do I find all the teachers to assign that policy to in the product?
You can, we have in that user page, there's ability to filter based off of certain properties. so you can identify all of the users.
So I'd have to add that attribute in AD.
You have to add that, yeah.
Got it, thank you.
And that's, honestly, I think that question goes a lot more to the question we got earlier about supporting policy assignment to groups. It's a really compelling scenario, because then you just, at one point, create a group, add all your teachers, you do it once, you can use it elsewhere as well. It's something that we're looking at.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. I'll go.
Okay. Are there any plans within Teams to put fine-grained controls within channels? So if I have a team that's connected to a group that has 10 members, let's say I have one channel, all 10 members have access to that channel, then I have two other channels where one channel 5 members have access, the other channel, the other 5 members have access.
You're asking about private channels, and
yes.
We're looking at it.
Okay.
Is that beta or just?
that one's not beta.
Hi. Do you plan to implement a read-only permission as there is in SharePoint?
So it's good feedback. I'd have to look at where that is on the backlog.
Okay.
Yeah. You can today archive a team. So if you have a team that's already being used, but you want to retain that content just kind of statically, the owner can archive, and that may go towards what you're looking at.
The use case is, for example, if you have corporate news and you don't want everyone to post on their channel.
Oh yeah, I think that's kind of read-only mode.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's a little bit different. I'd have to look at where that is.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, so we're trying to migrate completely off of Skype to Teams, and we do a lot of conferencing, so where we have hundreds of users join a meeting, right? Is there any, as in Skype for Business, you can have meeting options where you can mute everyone initially. Is there that option in Teams to do that?
I'd have to look. You also probably want to look at live events, which we just announced, which is like it's not quite what you're talking about, but like you can broadcast a meeting to all participants and they can't actually. Is that the next session?
In here?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's a W.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Hi. You've been talking about the PowerShell module and those new service rules or directory roles in the Azure AD portal. When we started implementing automating the team's creation via the PowerShell module, it was the case that the team could only be modified when the user you are logging into the PowerShell module has been a member of that group. Is that now fixed with that model, or has he still to be a member in that group?
He still has to be a member. It's what we're working on right now. So you see that the Managed Teams UI that we just showed is the first part where the admin actually doesn't have to belong to it to be able to operate on it. So we brought that functionality first to the UI because no one was using it yet. And then we're going to be rolling it out in PowerShell as well because people are already.
But it will be coming.
It will be coming, absolutely.
Is there a timeline for that?
I don't have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there a plan to allow suppression of the welcome message for Teams? Like we can do it with groups right now, but if I add a user to a team, they're always going to get that email.
It's something that we're working on for sure. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Hi there.
Hi.
We like our users to self-service, and I'm interested in the templates. Would I be able to find a way to lock users to just be able to create from those templates?
It's part of our template plan. So the first phase of the template plan, which is what you looked at, was really just exposing it through Graph API so that you could kind of do onboarding in this fast way. But then in later phases, we want to bring out the ability to set a policy that says users can use, this user could use these 5 templates or something like that.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
If you disable certain capabilities, let's say calling, meetings, GIFs, stickers, whatever, what happens to those icons in the UI?
It's going forward, right? So it's restricting whether or not the user has access to post that in the future.
Correct, but like if we disable calling, is there going to be a little phone icon?
Oh, sorry. GIF stickers, I thought you were talking about like in the conversation if they've already posted a Jiffy, that's going to stay. For calling, it disables the icon. For messaging, allow private chat is a control that you can control in the messaging policy. It will disable the icon as well.
When you say disable the icon, is it just gray it out or is it?
No, it's not visible.
It's not visible?
It's not visible, yeah.
We're creating Teams via PowerShell with
I think that was me.
with an admin account doing it. I'm short. We're creating teams via PowerShell with an admin account. The thing we're running into is that you can't set the owner unless the owner is currently logged into Teams. Is that something that...
Can't set the owner. Talk to me offline. That sounds like a bug.
We're one of your government customers. Do you have a roadmap for bringing parity to the feature set? I know that you're kind of 18 months behind, so will it be coming up, or should we kind of expect the same cadence?
David Rosenthal had a couple of sessions, I think yesterday, covering government specifically and what that looks like. So I'd check out that. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So on the managing the teams admin console, where you were looking at, hey, I need to add an owner, this person doesn't have an owner, are you looking at a help desk subset role that could do just some of the role management of teams?
So we didn't hear it when we did research yet. I think it's a great suggestion. We didn't hear it when we did research, but honestly, we didn't have that experience built out yet, so I don't know that it was a super strong scenario.
Because we already have 1,600 teams in the 2 months that we've had it open, and our administrator does not want to mess with that.
Yeah. No, I think it's good feedback. Okay. We'll look at it. Okay. Thank you, everyone. If anyone does want fruit snacks, I have them.